I came back from the best vacation ever, visiting Japan this year, and I want to go back. But next time, I will be better prepared, and so will you, with these travel tips to help you save money and time while traveling to Japan or even other countries. First of all, the public transportation system in Tokyo is awesome. It's almost never late, and in many parts of Japan, it's pretty convenient to use. What you can do is download Google Maps and just navigate that way. I go to Google Maps on my phone or on your laptop, and then you can see how to go from Shibuya to Team Labs Planets, which is an amazing art museum that I highly suggest going to. But you can see the different options on public transit, or you can take a car ride. But if you don't have a car, then you can't do that. So if you take public transit, there's this 32-minute way here. It costs about 400 yen. And if you just type in 400 yen to USD, you can see that's about $3.06. And it takes about 32 minutes. So click on details. First, you would walk to Shibuya Station, and then you would take the Hanzomon line, which you can read the English signs and navigate towards. It is on platform 2, and then you have 3 stops, and then you go to this station, walk 2 minutes, then go to this station, and you can just read. But this way, you know what platform it is on, what time the stops are, and you can get to your destination pretty easily. So after you've used Google Maps, you can use the Suica card in order to actually use the metro system instead of having to buy individual paper tickets. You can have this one card called the Suica card. It's a green card, looks like this. And you can load up the balance and then just swipe it as you enter and exit each station. So that way you don't have to manually check for the price and everything. And it's super easygoing, takes a few seconds, and you're through the metro station. There's 2 types of Suica cards. I suggest getting the green regular Suica card that looks like this because it expires in 10 years and you can reload it constantly. You can even put it on your phone, an Apple Wallet if you want, and that makes it really convenient. Just make sure your battery doesn't die. Otherwise, you can just keep it physically. There's a 500 yen deposit, but once you turn that in to the airport, when you return the card, you can get that back. There's gonna be a 220 yen service charge to refund your Suica card, but that's like $1 or so it doesn't really matter. There's also this welcome Suica that's red. I suggest not getting that because it expires after 28 days, and the regular Suica card is just more user-friendly. However, the welcome Suica card doesn't require a 500 yen deposit, so if you care about that, then you can use the welcome Suica. The Suica card can also be used at many different convenience stores like 7-Eleven, so you can use up any remaining balance instead of having to go through an actual person and returning the card if you so choose. By the way, you can only add the green Suica regular card to your Apple Wallet, and if you do, you might have to use a debit card to refill because credit card doesn't seem to work sometimes, and be wary of foreign transaction fees. So it might be worth it to just not do that and keep it as a physical card rather than having it on your phone. Next, you can download an offline map on Google Maps, so that way if you aren't connected to Wi-Fi or don't have a mobile hotspot or an international SIM card, which you could buy at the airport and make your life easier, but if you don't happen to have that, you can download an offline map, and so that way even without Wi-Fi, you can kind of know where to go to a station that hopefully has free public Wi-Fi, or Starbucks, which usually has free public Wi-Fi. Open up your Google Maps after downloading it from the App Store or Google Play Store. Then type in your location of your itinerary. So I picked my hotel location. And then you want to scroll down, click on the upper right-hand corner, and click Download Offline Map. Then encompass the entire area of where you happen to be having fun at, your vacation spot. And let's say it's about this area. And you can see that it takes 565 megabytes. So if you want to zoom in a little bit and download less of an area, it will take up less space. And then you can click download. And then once it's finished downloading, you can have an offline map version. So without any Wi-Fi or data, you can still kind of know where you are and navigate towards a station, public Wi-Fi, hopefully be able to travel and look up things with Wi-Fi. The downside to the offline map is that it only shows car pathways. So if you go to directions here, you can see different options for car, public transport, and walking. So you can see that with Wi-Fi, you have all of these options, but with the offline map, there's only the car route. However, you can use that to estimate where a station is or where a Wi-Fi place is, so that way you can connect and go to public transportation and see a full schedule of where you want to go. But if you have a data plan or a Wi-Fi hotspot, then you don't have to worry about it because you'll have Wi-Fi. The next tip I have for you is that you can download the offline dictionary for Japanese on Google Translate. Voice recognition will not be possible, but you can still type and read things and even take pictures of things and get a translation offline. Once you have Google Translate downloaded in your App Store or Google Play Store, you want to go to Settings, and then you want to go to Offline Translation and then add a language. So if you're going to Japan, just type in Japanese, and then if you haven't downloaded already, which I already have it downloaded, you can click on it and then download it for offline use. So that way you can do a camera and go to your offline language of Japanese. And then if you have some Japanese, you can see the English like so. So Japanese, English, and you can do that. And you can also type in text. The only thing you can't do is speak while you're offline, but you can do it when you're online. This way, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can still communicate in Japanese. If you're trying to avoid international cellular charges because you have a US data plan and it will cost you money if you use it internationally, you can turn on airplane mode or turn off your cellular data, so that way you don't get overage charges or international charges that you don't want to pay for. My next tip is that you can consider opening a new bank account. The Schwab Bank High Yield Investor Checking Account gives unlimited ATM rebates worldwide, and there's no foreign transaction fee. So if you need cash in Japan and Japanese yen, you can use their debit card and get the ATM fee reimbursed to you. If you have a no foreign transaction fee credit card, I suggest using that to buy things, but don't use it with an ATM because they'll charge a lot of different fees for that and cash advance charges and interest rates. But I highly suggest using a no foreign transaction fee credit card because you'll get cash back. Unfortunately, not all places accept credit card, so that's why you need an ATM withdrawal of cash so that you can use it in fish markets or to reload your Suica card or whatnot. For my Schwab card, lowest balance I could withdraw was 10,000 yen, which is about $80. I just withdrew it at the NRT airport in Japan when I got there. So I didn't buy any Japanese currency beforehand. I just did it when I was in the Japan airport because it was just convenient, and the exchange rates are likely better if you just get Japanese currency in Japan. My next tip is you might want to learn some basic Japanese phrases. There's a link in the description below where you can just learn like thank you and other like arigato, but Google Translate will probably be your best friend. My next tip is to keep a diary entry of your travels and experiences. Take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos, and then also just at the end of the day or when you get back, but preferably like after the end of each day, write down your travels, write down what you did, write down what made you happy, what you saw, what surprised you. You want to keep that in your memory, so write it down. And when it comes to sharing photos, you can use Google Photos or Apple Photos and their shared albums, so that way you can freely send and show all the awesome pictures and things of what you did and why your friends should be jealous. Next tip is you probably want to keep track of your expenses, so have a budget beforehand or while you're there, or just review your credit card statement and your ATM withdrawals after the trip ends. Just some accountability, you know? Also, to make my life easier, and since I like Google Sheets, I created a spreadsheet with, the date, the item, the purpose of the cost, the yen cost, and the USD cost. And then if I had multiple people and we were sharing the cost, I can write down their names and then their cost as well. And basically I looked at the credit card statement and wrote down how much the amount was. And then I knew Japanese yen because that's what I was paying for. And then this way I could keep track of all my expenses and divvy up the cost among my friends. So that's how I kept up with my expenses. I looked at my credit card statement and then wrote them down. I also wrote it down as I was doing it, so that way I wouldn't be super confused. You can also just get all your receipts at the end of the day and compile the information as well to make your life easier. Also, I would contact your bank and set a travel notice telling them, hey, I'll be in Japan during this time, so if you see any Japanese charges, that is me. Please don't decline my card, because that can be really, really annoying. So just make sure before you go on your trip to notify your bank that you are going internationally. There's also probably a setting somewhere in your bank that you can add travel notices, but if not, just call up the bank and make sure to tell them. Moreover, if you are given the option to pay in local currency or US dollar, always choose the option to pay in local currency. Otherwise, you're going to get extra fees and charges from your bank. So if you use a credit card, you see two options, pay in USD or pay in local currency. Choose the local currency. Save yourself some fees. Another tip I like is using this free itinerary app called Wanderlog.com. I'm not sponsored by them, but I used it and it was really, really helpful. This is Wanderlog.com. You can make a free account. You can also pay for premium features, but I didn't do that. I'm just on the free account. And you can have an itinerary for your day and then also make categories for like places to visit, food. And so here, what you do is just add a location, add a place, type in the place that you want to go to. So if you want Shibuya Crossing, you can do that, see the results on the map, and then click on the place. And you can click add to trip. And when you add it to the trip, you can even see like the hours of operation and the location specifically. So it's quite convenient. And what's nice about it is that you can see it all on the map. So once you have all the places you want to go to, you can just go to them and organize them easily. So I would do all of these things in one day, then all of these things in another day, for example, because they're close by, and all of these things on another day, just to help you navigate where you go when you go. And you can even click on directions or click this drop down and see how far things are from each other. So this is a 19-minute walk or a 5-minute drive. Unfortunately, it doesn't show public transport, but you can just like, I don't know, click on directions here, and then you can see how to get to it through public transit. Well, there isn't, well, since it's so close by, there is no public transit for it. But if there was, then you could navigate doing that super easily. And there's even an app on the phone, so you can use it super easily. So just download it. One thing is that you can't access all the features unless you pay for them, but all the features I've shown you are free. One thing about the app though is if you aren't connected to Wi-Fi, you won't be able to see your itinerary fully. You need to pay for the premium version to do that, or you can just connect to Wi-Fi and then see your full itinerary. Fish market, highly recommend going, by the way. It was delicious. This is a really cool museum. This is a very, very cool museum as well. I also put a link in the description below if you want to check out my itinerary and do the fun things I did, which, you know, are pretty great. One last bonus hack I want to mention is that you could go to Google Flights and search up Los Angeles Airport, LAX, and use that as a connecting flight rather than booking a direct connection. For example, if I flew from Fort Lauderdale to Los Angeles and then from Los Angeles to Tokyo in 2 separate plane tickets, the cost would be about $173 plus $837. So about $1,000 or so. But if I instead did a 1 ticket system instead of booking 2 different flights and not using LAX as the connecting system, in this example, it would cost me $1,376. So if you do the math, $1,376 minus $173 minus $837, you could save $366 by booking a connecting flight to Los Angeles and then flying to Tokyo rather than just straight up booking from your local airport to Japan round trip. You have to make sure work out the times on the 2 flights and make sure to account for any luggage fees that might need to be added into the cost. For example, Spirit, there's some luggage fees. That's an additional hack if you need to save on your trip to Tokyo by booking a connecting flight to Los Angeles. You can even make a mini vacation in Los Angeles while you're at it, so that way you save even more money since you, went both to Japan and Los Angeles at the same time. Hopefully that helps you. And if you want more flight hacks, just click the link here or just look in the video description below. I had a lot of fun. I hope you have a lot of fun as well in Japan. If you like this video, click like, subscribe, comment below your travel tips and hacks, and just keep on being awesome. Have a wonderful day.